Hello to you all. Welcome to Afro Perspectives, the space where truth confronts power and those entrusted with deciding our future are held to account. I trust this finds you in good health and strong spirit as we embark on a journey through the stories that define and shape our everyday futures. Joseph Kabila, the former president of the DRC, and thorn in the flesh to the political elites in Kinshasa, has returned from self-imposed exile. Yes, that's him on there, Joseph Kabila. He is back. After years in self-imposed exile, he quietly boarded a flight from Johannesburg, touched down in Kigali, where his masters are calling the shots. And he didn't stop there. Overland, he moved straight from Kigali to Gisenyi, Rwanda's tense border town, just literally a few meters from Goma. And a few hours after he took to the podium, and he still pretended to be in charge, denouncing what he called the provocations. And the question on everyone's lips is, why now? Why now? Why at this point in time? So stay with us right to the very end as we unravel the tangled web that is politics in Eastern DRC. Yes, that's Kabila's convoy of cars on there. But let's be real. Is he a guest, a hostage, or just Kagame's favorite puppet? Where is that the Rwandans or their M23 proxies are running his security detail? You can see for yourself. Those are the M23 rebels. They are guarding his outside his residence in Goma, and they are providing the security detail. You decide for yourself. You can see for yourself. Those are the images. So now it's confirmed. No more rumors, no more guessing. The hard facts are staring us in the face, and there is no running away from them. From President of the Republic, the Democratic Republic of Congo's fourth head of state since independence in 1960, then to a warlord, to the commander of an armed group, a fall, you can call it a fall from grace, you can call it whatever you want, but this is a career paved and shielded by none other than Paul Kagame. It's not just a fall from grace. It's the calculated path of a man who moves when his masters pull the strings, the Rwandans, and every step, every shift on command. You can see them right there in the pictures on screen. That's the M23. You can see them. Kone Inanga, Petra Bisima, who is this other guy? Willing Goma, Makenga, what's his first name? I'm forgetting his first name. Makenga, Southern, yes, that's Southern Makenga. But it doesn't stop there. This whole show is being directed from Kigali. They are not even hiding it anymore. Joseph Kabila, once president of the DRC, that's what we are talking about here. He is now little more than Kagame's puppet. And the evidence keeps piling up. The images you're seeing on there, that's his residence in Goma, like I've said before. And that's in the suburb of, is it what, Kinyogote? Yes. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing some of these words. I'm an Anglophone anyway, so yeah. And that's his residence in Goma, quietly guarded, strategically placed. This isn't coincidence, it's coordination, pure coordination. And it shows who is in charge. Kabila isn't just returning, he is running straight into the arms of the M23. Let's be clear, these aren't freedom fighters, these are rebels, armed, organized, and backed by interests far beyond Congo's borders. These are the rebels, not just in name, but in brutal action. They are responsible for forcing over 7.8 million to flee their homes, half of them children. And then who else? The elderly, women, the vulnerable, the people like Joseph Kabila should be protecting. This isn't just a conflict of interest. It's a human catastrophe. And this is where I get lost. And I need help understanding this, to be frank. How does a man who spent 18 solid years masquerading as the leader of the DRC ends up here in Goma, in rebel-held territory? What does that say? What does that say about the system? The system of governance in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and about all of us watching this spectacle. And now he turns his back on the very people he spent 18 years pretending to care about. For Joseph Kabila, the suffering of ordinary Congolese is in a crisis. It's what they call collateral damage, something to be ignored, something to dispense with. Just part of the cost in a game only he and his masters are playing. So you get the gist of what I'm saying. You get what I'm driving at. It's women, children, the elderly, scattered across the makeshift camps for the internally displaced around Goma. You would not miss them. All you need is to step on the peripheries of Goma. And you can see them, white sheets, huddled in one massive open field. These are lives upended, futures stolen, and yet not a word of sympathy from the imposter who spent 18 years masquerading as the leader of the DRC. 18 years of lies, and now total silence, nothing, not a word. Well, this is something. There is something that I just don't understand about Kabila. It's something that I just don't get it when it comes to this man. Look at this. I have a snippet of images right here. Religious leaders, church elders, and there he is, sitting before them, nodding, pretending to listen, and it's all theater. It's a performance. He is not convinced of all this. It's someone following instructions from higher up. A man playing a role he never truly believed in. That is in the posh suburbs of Kinyogote, like I've said before. And I have to ask, how did we get here? How does a man like Kabila, after everything, after 18 years as president, still sit there acting like he calls the shots, like the past doesn't matter? Like people have not moved on. We have a new president. That's Felix Tshisekedi. You might not like him. You might not agree with most of the things he is doing. But he holds the reins of power. And we have to acknowledge that. It's like people don't remember. He was saying all this past time, I lead all of Congo. Now it's all about the M23. The mask has just dropped. And this is Kabila shamefully is running into the hands of the M23. So with his meeting the church leaders, it was just never really about a spiritual gathering. No, not at all. Kabila is playing a deeper, more dangerous game. He is talking division at the heart of the DRC, looking at who speaks Swahili, who speaks Lingala, who speaks Chiluba, who speaks Kikongo, and just playing at all those soft spots. And he is tapping into the fault lines, the so-called Swahili for half of the country. And it's being used like a pawn in a strategy that would tear the nation apart, the nation of the Democratic Republic of Congo. 65 years in the making. And this is where we have ended. It's back to 1996. The man who is following orders from Rwanda, determined to tear apart the Congo. So right here, I've got a map that stretches from Katanga to North Kivu, in case you might be wondering what I'm talking about. And at the center of it all is this man, Kabila, the architect of tribal and ethnic manipulation, And there he is, boldly sitting with scholars, with academics. That's with him, that's Mohindo Muganda, rector of the University of Goma. Now ask yourself, are these meetings truly voluntary? Are these respected figures, academics, people who have got some education, some with doctorates? Are they actually there out of their own free voluntary will? I have my doubts. These are simply hostages. These are people just gathered for the photo shoots and the opportunities, the public PR opportunities, public relations opportunities. And you have Kabila. He can actually do these sort of things, pull all these sort of charades. He is backed by none other than Thabo Mbeki. And now he is returned deep into Eastern Congo. And Thabo Mbeki, the same man, some claim, I'm talking about, still talking about Joseph Kabila, sorry about the mix-up. And the same man, some claim, will face justice. That is, he has his impunity lifted, and will finally has been stripped of all his titles, senator for life, and all that sort of thing. He faces charges of treason, and those are awaiting him. But tell me this, if justice is truly coming, why does he walk so freely? Why is he still playing power games in plain sight? It doesn't bring justice. It doesn't bring peace. What it does is igniting a fire, the powder keg that is Eastern DRC, or even the whole of the DRC. Because the moment you move against Kabila, the people of Tanga, we are told, well, this is what Thabo Mbeki has been saying anyway. It's not part of like what I'm asserting. He's saying, Thabo Mbeki is saying, oh, they're coming after one of us. And just like that, the story shifts from accountability to resistance. So that's the wisdom we are getting from Thabo Mbeki. And that's what Thabo Mbeki is saying. That like, if you touch Joseph Kabila, if you go after Joseph Kabila, he's going to mobilize all these people, the M23, the Rwandans, and that's going to start another war. Yeah, we all know about that. But someone has to hold Joseph Kabila to account. Now, let's be fair. Mbeki does have a point. I don't agree with everything he says about the DRC. Not by a long shot. But on this right here, he is absolutely spot on. But then I have to I have to agree. This is where we part ways. Because when Kabila turned his back on Kinshasa, the rest of the DRC, when he aligned with himself, when he aligns with himself with the M23, like what he is doing right now, it's more than the switching of sides. He is giving Rwanda's external aggression a Congolese face. This is nothing more than just a betrayal rubbed in the familiar colors of the Rwandan flag. And that, to you, my dear compatriots, my friends, my brothers and sisters, this is the mother of all betrayals. Maybe Thabo Mbeki knows something the rest of us don't. But you have to wonder, where is Thabo Mbeki getting all this from? Which Congo is he even talking about? Because he is simply suggesting that the M23 is now he said this recently, and I have provide you with his quotes on screen on there. He said that the M23 is now the most popular political entity in Congo, political party grouping in Congo, or rebel outfit, whatever you want to call it. And the M23, most popular organizations across the DRC. Oh, come on. We are talking about people who have displayed 7.8 million people here. We are talking about human suffering, and who actually appreciates those sort of things. This is pure Rwandan propaganda. And the shocking part, it's coming from none other than the respected, venerable Thabo Mbeki, a statesman. Or, well, what shall we say, he's retired now, shall we say a former statesman. He is now echoing pro-Rwanda talking points like a paid social media troll. It's not just disappointing, it's dangerous. We are talking about human lives here, the future of an entire sub-region, or even the future of the whole continent hinges on what's happening in the Great Lakes region. And if there was ever any doubt that Joseph Kabila has become the Congolese face of the M23, an organization largely composed of Tutsis from across the border in Rwanda, just look at the screen. I've loaded the images on there. There he is, side by side with the M23 hierarchy. No pretense, no distance, just alignment in plain sight. There you have them. Kone Inanga, Petra Bisimwa, Willy Goma, and he is even walking with them as if like these are the most respectable of political figures. But these are pure plain rebels, and we have a former president of the DRC hobnobbing with them, dining with them, doing all sorts of like things you can imagine. For Kagame, Joseph Kabila showing up in Goma is nothing short of a diplomatic masterstroke. Now he can turn to the world and say, look, I have no troops in Eastern DRC. If your former president, Joseph Kabila himself, is in Goma, shaking hands with the M23 commanders, what does that have to do with Rwanda? And believe you me, Kagame has made this point time and time again. He just didn't have the proper solid sort of like evidence to back up his claim. Now he's got the evidence. He's got his puppet, Joseph Kabila. It's a carefully staged illusion. And too many, and so many are falling for it. And I believe you me, this will end up like just playing into the hands of those who are determined to tear the DRC apart, to balkanize the whole country. Yes, well, that aside, the Rwandans orchestrating the parallel state in Goma ensured the illusion was seamless. They rallied women's empowerment groups. Look at the pictures are loaded on screen there. There they are. Our fine Congolese mothers adorned in vivid wax print dresses, a spectacle of color and choreography. And to do what? To greet the man whom the M23 still essentially calls his excellency. And what kind of nonsense is this? A man who has now fully fashioned himself into a warlord. This is political theater in its rawest form, just to say the least. An absurd spectacle that might provoke laughter, were it not unfolding in a city, Goma, that is Goma, under the grip of Rwandan occupation. Kagame may be content to uphold the pretense, but Auguste Kabuya, a Secretary General of the UDPS party, that is the party of President Tshisekedi, brushed his assertions aside with open contempt. Kabila, that's what he's saying, I'm quoting here. Kabila must let the Congolese people make their own choices. He declared at a recent rally in Kinshasa, he is nothing but a Rwandan puppet, a plant. And so, with that statement, Kabuya transforms what was once dismissed as conspiracy theory into declared fact. Kabila is Rwandan. And who am I to argue, to contest that? That claim now echoes not from the fringes like we have been told in the past, but right from the corridors of power in the DRC. And what more would you want? The people Kabila is pretending, oh, I'm going to mediate. I'm meeting all these people in Kinshasa, religious leaders, traditional chiefs, academics, and all manner of influential people in DRC, in the hope that is going to be mediator. The other side, the side where it all matters, from President Tshisekedi's perspective at least, they are dismissing him as a Rwandan, someone who has imposed on the DRC. So now you get it. This is what we are faced with. Yeah, so, well, so let me add my own 2 cents. What are the geopolitical stakes of Kabila's defection to the M23? I think you can best answer that sort of question. Thank you for tuning in. And if you think I missed a critical thread in the Kabila-Rwanda saga, or against all reason you truly believe Kabila is a force for peace in Eastern Congo, make your case in the comments below. Let the debate stay where it belongs, just on the facts, no personal attacks. If this analysis stirred something, provoked thought, sharpened your perspectives, show it with some love, just give me a like. And don't forget to subscribe. Click that button. Thank you. Bye. Merci pour votre soutien. Ciao. Bye.